Am I live? Yes, I'm live. I don't want to XP waste. So while I'm setting up the stream, I'm going to fish. I need to do smoking kills so I can get more Slayer points, so I can put the Bone Crusher on my tool belt. But to do smoking kills, I need to do Icthlarin's Little Helper, which might be my least favourite quest. And to do Icthlarin's Little Helper, I need to finish Gertrude's cat, so I guess I need to do Gertrude's cat first. But first I'm fishing. Because I need... Wait, why am I fishing? Because I need 53 cooking for Hero's Quest. And I didn't do any cooking on the beach. I did construction on the beach, which is on my construction is now 67. And I need to do Family Crest, but I don't know whether to get the smelting gauntlets or the cooking gauntlets because I hate burning food. And I don't mind re-clicking for smelting. And I could spend $1 million to get both, but I don't have that much money. I don't know. I think my skilling levels wildly exceed my questing levels, like because I've just been AFK grinding on my phone a lot, but I haven't actually got that many quests completed. Hi Chaplin. I'm streaming harpoon fishing. It's just the coolest kind of content there is. Maybe Michael will raid me again and I won't notice. Which happened last time. As I was shutting the stream down, I was like, wait, there's 60 people watching the stream, why is that happening? And I went back and checked and he tried to raid me, but he couldn't because I had raids turned off. So he hosted me instead. But I don't think any of those people enjoyed the stream very much. I'm very undecided about my stream title, A Game Designer Plays, because it's very pretentious, right? Like, it's intentionally, like, slightly sarcastically self-aggrandizing, but it's true as well, right? Like, and I feel like that is my content, right? I'm not, like, pretending. I was thinking I should probably stream speedrunning Broken Home, because I know Broken Home. I've never actually speedrun it, so it'd be quite an interesting challenge. But I know Broken Home fairly well. I've completed that, like, you know, dozens of times. But then I realised I wouldn't be able to speedrun Broken Home because I wouldn't be able to stop and talk about it, which is why I tend to just sort of stop and just pause the quest for 20 minutes while I discuss like all of the design ramifications of leaving a fire rune on the floor or something. Yeah, I tend to give feedback, right? Like, yeah, so I feel like I could call it something slightly fancier, like the design review, or something a little bit more like, you know, fancy blog title kind of thing, you know. Early on I called my streams Let's Review, I think. Let's Review? Yeah, I think so. It's hard to get the right... It's hard, really. It's difficult to know what people like. Because I don't like the idea... So I was watching... there's an atheist guy. And his titles are all like, a scientist does something. And it rubs me up the wrong way. But then I'm unusually rubbed up the wrong way by things, so I'm not sure that my instinct is very good. Yeah, I have to grind out fishing first, so that I can do wait, what? Hero's Quest. No, I'm not actually gonna go to his cat in a second. Yeah, let's go do it. I've set up my player-owned farm, going. Actually, I should probably move a couple more rabbits before I go, shouldn't I? I don't have a good... So I played a bunch of player-owned farm when it was in development. But I never actually played it in live, so I don't have a good sense for the meta around it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't understand I understand the design vision behind Player-Owned Farm and how people were intended to kind of use it, but I don't understand the meta around the way that people actually do use it. So I'm experimenting with it a little bit. So I'll cook these fish and then Go do that, and then go start... No, not start... I started Gertrude's Cat. I don't know when. I'm pretty sure I finished Gertrude's Cat before, but I haven't finished it on this account for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, right, like I just bung a load of rabbits in, but like as far as I can see, I need to check back pretty frequently in order to move more babies into the main paddock. It doesn't seem to be a daily at where I currently am. It seems to be a sort of 20-minutely. Oh, I opened my conch as well today. Opened my giant oyster for the first time ever. Where am I going? Going to Ardougne. My brain, I'm tired today. It's been a long day. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about profit. I'm worried about leveling farming, right? Because my farming is garbage. What is my farming? No, wait, that's not farming. I keep changing the size of my map so I can find it. My farming is 37. My kids are absolutely delighted by the rabbits in the farm. They love that. I mean, I really like Player and Farm. Like, it felt to me like one of the first pieces of content we'd shipped since Dungeoneering. The way I described it to the devs in my positive feedback was like, this feels like the first piece of content we've made since Dungeoneering which someone could play RuneScape specifically for this content. Wow, she's leveled up to Elder already. Like I could imagine someone starting RuneScape, enjoying Player and Farm, and just wanting to play Player and Farm. Which is great. Like, it's nice that it's kind of self-contained and works. So my bunnies are all miserable for some reason and unhealthy. I don't know why. So should I at this point just give all of these to the lady? I'm not clear. There's no reason to keep these rabbits, right? They're not doing anything for me. I know there's a whole thing to do with farming totems, but I don't think I'm at that stage yet. So I just need to trade all these into what's her name, right? Is that correct? I think so. It takes time for them to get happy. Ah, okay. It makes previous farming completely obsolete. Yes, we've been discussing that from a design point of view. We have a general problem with RuneScape, like, I guess in contrary to what you're saying, Wahi. Wait, they need to give birth? What? My breeders are in the other pen, right? I've got 2 breeders in the other pen. Why would these ones... Why would I need to sell these? Why would I not sell these ones? I thought that was the whole point. These are the babies that I'm selling. Right, cool, okay, I'm not getting it wrong, right? That's what I thought. Yeah. So I've got 2 that are in the breeding pen that are producing babies, and then I move the babies into here, and then I harvest the babies, and then that's it. Oh, these guys don't have any food, so they're miserable. So I probably shouldn't harvest them, should I? I bought some seeds, but I can't be bothered to go to the Grand Exchange. You can also breed outside the breeding pen. I think you have to unlock that, don't you? You have to unlock the ability to breed them outside the breeding pen, and I haven't unlocked that yet, I don't think. Right, sorry, so I was saying on the subject of complexity, which seems quite a relevant topic. The problem that we have on RuneScape, and I've alluded to this in a few live streams, is that we don't... What am I trying to say? One of the founding design principles of RuneScape is that content doesn't become redundant. But also, RuneScape just adds content at a ferocious rate. And that means that the game becomes essentially exponentially more complex continually over time. Because we add, like, the way that the game works is there's 2 training methods. And then we add a 3rd training method, which is very carefully balanced not to render any of the previous training methods redundant. So now we have 3 training methods. And then we add another training method, which is very carefully balanced not to make any of the previous training methods redundant. So now we have 4 training methods. And the entire game just gradually becomes more and more and more overwhelmingly complex like that. And that's not a good thing. Like, that's not a positive. There's people that say, like, oh, I don't want to see RuneScape simplified, and I get that. Like, we don't want RuneScape to become a simple game, and there absolutely is such a thing as too simple. Like, we don't want RuneScape to be cookie clicker. But at the same time, it isn't the identity of RuneScape to be exponentially more and more complex. That isn't the game. It didn't used to work like that. It used to expand essentially linearly because new content would be added and more people, you know, like someone would make a new skill and then they would add content to that skill. They didn't tend to go back and make existing content extremely complex. That's something that came with the sort of 6-age shift, with more of a focus on adding to the existing world, adding new methods to the existing skills, adding new rewards that had quite complex bonuses for the existing skills, making them more complicated, often extremely complicated. I guess, I mean, early content, it would add, like cooking gloves, I guess, would be an example of, like, adding to an existing skill. But I don't think cooking gloves make the skill more complicated, exactly. But there's some stuff now. So, I mean, the thing with player and farm is, like... Now, you could argue that the existing stuff needs a rework, but is it a problem that farming has one nice... It's not, I mean, it's straightforward, but it's not straightforward in the sense that, like, Ivy is straightforward. It's relatively straightforward compared to previous farming. I wonder if the fact that reward spaces have been filled is a hindrance. Yes, absolutely. It's a constant frustration when we're developing, because we have to come up with rewards, and every project starts with, like, okay, what's this going to give then? What am I doing? Where am I going? I need to do Gertrude's cat. Alright, Gertrude's cat. Where am I in Gertrude's cat? I need to speak to shop and we allow in Varrock Marketplace. Okay. Arch comes out and every level gap is filled on release. Yes, so I did actually talk to the team about that. That when Archaeology released it, it was released in a state where it was good. It was a great skill. It was a really good. It was a fantastic piece of content, like one of the most impactful pieces of content we've shipped in the last 5 years. So I don't want to criticize the team for their content. That's not what I mean. But one of the things it didn't really do was create new reward spaces or content spaces in the game that other content could then fill. Orphan was useful, but it wasn't necessary. It was good, but it wasn't like crying out for it. And then Statistan again was good, but it wasn't crying out for it. And now it feels like the skill is basically done. It doesn't feel like there's like 5 more years of archaeology from a mechanical point of view. Obviously, there's lots we could do from a thematic point of view. But with you know, there's not really any mechanical need. We could add more relics, but the way that relic energy works means that unless we up the energy, what we're probably doing is making old relics. It's kind of designed, the relic energy in that regard is kind of designed not to afford expandability almost. Like it doesn't. But then again, anything we could make a relic, we could also just make a passive benefit. So the existence of the relic system doesn't in and of itself lend itself to creating more rewards. Scouser said Arch would have felt finished even without those two. Yeah, Arch was great on release, right? It felt like a complete skill. It was a journey you could go on, and you got to the end of the skill. I mean, obviously not all of the story's finished, but mechanically it felt very complete. And it's strange to say that was a problem, because obviously they worked really hard on making sure that was true. But yeah, but then on the other hand, if I complain a lot about devs making unfinished promises. So if they'd left huge gaps in the skill, that wouldn't have been good either. Like if they just left big gaps for future updates to fill, and then future updates never got around to finishing them because we moved on to something different and did something else, that wouldn't really have helped. So it's yeah, I don't think they necessarily did the wrong thing, but it's interesting thinking about the way that it works. And it's actually like the clunky design of the early skills that do have like just massive unfinishedness that allows them to be such fertile ground for filling in. I've completely forgotten Gertrude's cat. Oh, wait, I didn't read that. Outside the Jolly Boar Inn. That's the one next to the dig site, isn't it? Up next to the Infernal Source? Is that the Jolly Boar? Vernick said, it sucks how complete and good Arch is. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, it's such a paradox that, like, you make... It's the way that RuneScape works. Like, normal MMOs, what do I mean? The other MMOs that are all WoW clones, I guess is what I mean. RuneScape is kind of unique. Um, like, they ship finished content, and then they ship another piece of content, which renders the previous piece of content redundant. So that's what gives them that sort of treadmill feeling of like, well, you're just doing the same thing again and again and again. Whereas RuneScape kind of, the way our content works is we just gradually improve what's there, like and add new. Why is the front door there? What an odd place to put the front door. Very welcoming for the barbarians coming in from the wilderness. Is there law for that? I don't think there is. The door's at the wrong end of the building. Wait, where am I going here? Go to this. Oh, wait, go to the secret hideout. Oh, they didn't. Right, they said go to the lumberyard. They didn't say go to the Jolly Boar. Ah, I'm an idiot. Alright, now I can't remember which half of the lumberyard you have to go into. Is it this half? Oh, there we go. I'm trying to remember how to do Gertrude's cat. The sawmill operator has dialogue. Sure, let's go talk to the sawmill operator and get that key lore. I was hanging out here earlier, actually making oak planks. Having a great time. Making oak planks for my player owned farm. You're not carrying any logs. Oh, yeah. I want to talk to you about a cat. That was absolutely not worth it, Wahi. Oh no, don't. It's good. It's good design principle to have a bit of dialogue to acknowledge that you're here. Like if I was looking for dialogue because I was a lore player, it's nice that he comments on the quest. That's great. But in terms of like dialogue that's worth going and checking, that is not worth going and checking. Right, what am I doing? I can't even remember. Am I searching all of these barrels? Climb the ladder. So yeah, like I guess, like I feel like. Oh, he wants something. Wait, I didn't read the dialogue. Maybe she is thirsty. Ah, of course I need a bucket of milk. Maybe Stu put a bucket of milk on a ground spawn somewhere nearby. That seems like the kind of thing he would do. Wait, how do I get a bucket of milk? I need to take a bucket to the farm, don't I? The milk farm. Do they sell it to me in... Don't they sell me a bucket of milk? Where is that? I can't remember. Is that here? Is that the milk farm? Can I just go there and get some milk? I'm trying to remember. I think so. I just go to Port Sarim. No, is it Sarim? No, it's Straynor. Isn't it a milk farm? I thought it was the milk farm. Am I going mad? Oh, I also need some other stuff. Okay, I guess I better get that as well. Use the knowledge Cook's assistant gave me. Yeah, when I completed Cook's assistant like 12 years ago. That knowledge. I'm sure there's a farm here. Am I just going mad? And I've also gone to completely the wrong waypoint, apparently. I thought there's someone that sells you milk. Is there not? I thought there was like a lady who sells milk, like on this farm. Am I not? Am I thinking? Am I just misremembering completely? Yeah, milk seller, look. It's a farm that sells milk. It's a milk farm. Look. People are mocking me. Look. Yeah, look. Bucket of milk. I mean, maybe that's not the most efficient way of gathering milk. Maybe I could have just brought a bucket. Dairy farm. Well, they don't sell other dairy products, so it's not a dairy farm. It's a milk farm because they sell milk. Right, what else do I need? Dougal leaves. Is this something I should have known about already earlier in the... It's ages since I did this quest. Like, I started the quest ages ago. So I've completely forgotten the start of the quest. Milk churning is a good cooking training method. No, I'm only cooking fish. That's all I'm doing. What else do I need? A raw sardine. Where am I going to get a raw sardine? Using a normal fishing rod by the sea with bait. Where can I do that? I guess probably down here, but I need some bait. Let's go to Draenor Village. Let's run all the way back. Alright. Have I completed Spirits of Elid? No. I don't remember if I've completed it before. I haven't completed it on this account. I don't know whether I've completed it. Don't remember. I'm assuming there's a fishing spot somewhere here. Let's get some bait. Where's all my bait? Oh, I've given up trying to locate things. I've learned how to do my bank properly now. Do you think that's a sardine spot? Wait, hang on, I don't understand how the spots work. No, I need a bait spot. There. Is that right? No, that's baiting a net spot, which isn't the same thing. Is that correct? Baiting a net spot is not the same thing as a bait spot. Is it? No, that's a herring. So I need a bait spot, which is different, right? Where am I going to get a bait spot? Can I go to Lumber? I guess no, Lumbridge's River. Wait, where can I? Hang on. Fishing platform, Intrana, Catherby. Oh, wait, hang on. No, a net spot. Will a net spot do? Or am I getting confused? If you put fishing's icon on, you can hover over them. Yeah, I'm not going to Intrana. No, that's anchovies. Yeah, of course it is. Put fishing icons on the map. Sardine, there's one. Down at Mudskipper Point. Guess that's not too bad. Let's go there. Intrana. Let's rework Intrana and Karamja to be the same place. Boom. Lord. It was the right spot. What? Are you sure? Oh, right, it was the right spot, but I got herring instead of sardine randomly. God damn it. Alright, well there's probably one here anyway. Right, well, there we go. Yep, sure. I'll catch a couple more since I'm here. Right, and then I need what? Leaves from Gertrude's house. She lives somewhere over here. Right there, that's Gertrude, isn't it? So I run from Edgeville. I'm assuming I picked up some of those leaves when I was in the middle of the quest before. A bit south of that. Come on, lad, off you go. South of the Romeo and Juliet house. Now, I literally put them in the Romeo and Juliet house. That's that one, isn't it? Is that the Romeo and Juliet house? Oh no, that's the Romeo and Juliet house. So that's Gertrude's house. Right, yeah, sure. Droll Leptok's house. Poor murdered Droll Leptok, dredged out of the river. Is that in game? That he was murdered and dredged out of the river? I can't remember. Or was that just my headcanon? No, hang on. I don't actually need to talk to Gertrude. I need to pick some leaves. Where are you, leaves? There they are. Dougal bush. Right. Okay. I have a Dougal sardine. Yes, I do. It's probably fastest to walk from. Hang on. I've been using the archaeology book to teleport to the dig site to go to the infernal source to walk to the lumberyard. That seems like the fastest way to the lumberyard. Rather than just wandering. No, let's go on a sightseeing tour. Let's do that instead. Rather than teleporting as efficiently as possible. I got asked again at work. Actually, for the first time at work, not for the first time on Discord, are Implings imps, by the way? The art team wanted to know. Are Implings imps? And I was like, oh god, I get asked this question so much. I told them from the point of view of thinking about whether or not things should be graphical reworked, not to worry about Implings. If they wanted to rework imps, they didn't need to worry about Implings. Their interpretation was that Implings were a kind of fairy, which I thought was fair enough and seemed consistent. I don't really have a strong opinion on it. We could rename them to, like, Bogles or something. Like, there are like 700 different kinds of Right, now I'm not going to do this wrong, because the chances are I'm going to do this wrong. Use the milk on the cat. Use the Dougal leaves. There you go, have a Dougal sardine. My wife would love this content, because it's got cats in it. She's not picky about cat content. It's like, it's a cat. Everything about it is amazing. What? Oh. What? Why would she scratch me? That doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't she come with me? What am I looking for here? Gertrude's cat is good. It's my canonical first adventure. Yeah, from a thematic point of view, yeah, I think I agree. I mean, you know, this is the whole joke about, like, what if the player is 9 years old, like Pokemon in this content? Like, this is a great adventure for a child to go on. It's really like, it's an adventure, right? The lumberyard is exciting. It reminds me of Pokemon Black and White. You know, like, where I really liked the kind of core aesthetic of Pokemon Black and White, where, like, a construction yard is an adventure playground to a child. Do you want any kittens? Have I broken the quest now? Right. So much better than a 2D cutscene. Yes, I am going to keep making that joke. Sorry, I shouldn't make too much fun. Because there's the violet, the iconic Violet is Blue hug cutscene is similar to what's going on there, right? Similar level of investment, similar level of complexity. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like it wouldn't, like the Violet is Blue hug cutscene wouldn't work at all as a 2D illustration cutscene, because the whole point is don't move on this ghost, you're about to do it, climbs the helper. Yep. No, it's fine. I mean, the devs at the time were working with what they had, you know, like they animated some little cats and made the cats, you know, it's cute. It's a cute little cutscene. I get a little bit offended when people are like, oh my god, these 2D cutscenes are so bad. Why can't we go back to having cutscenes like, you know, proper in-engine stuff? I know they're not using Gertrude's cat as it should be called Gertrude's little cat, and then Icthlarin's little helper would be the logical sequel. Yes, I would definitely like animated 2D cutscenes. I definitely would. Do I need to take the cat with me, for example? I can't remember. I guess I'll just look it up. Kitten! Exclamation. That is... Yep, that is exactly how my wife would have put it. It's a good reward, and the system's a bit broken, but like, as a concept and piece of content for the game, the early game, fantastic. Like, do a quest to win a pet. It's brilliant reward space. And good on whoever it was for doing the work, because it matters. I don't remember. No, Tom. Not Tom. And like, good on him for doing the work, for like building a new reward space, and you know, that's really good. Cooking XP, nice. Alright, what am I doing next? Here we go. I think I've already done Diamond in the Rough. I don't remember what year it is. There it is. Do I have all the requirements? Yes, I do. Okay, let's go. Right. Last time this put me off so much that I was like... I'll bring my cat with me. Do I need anything? Items required. A kitten. A tinderbox. A water skin. A salt shaker will not work. Okay. Let's go get that then. Linen. A willow log. And a bucket of sap. Here we go. Right. A bag of... Was it a pile of salt or a bag of salt? I'm guessing a pile of salt should be cheaper, but I don't know where to get that. Wait, where's the bag of salt? That bag of salt? Okay, bag of salt. Nice. Right, where are we going next? Catherby. Let's get my... Oh, do I need a bucket? I need a bucket. And I've got a bucket, so that's good. Catherby. Icthlarin's Little Helper is the quest that I mention when people ask me what my least favourite quest is consistently, although I don't get asked that question very much, because I think people want to hear happy news and not sad news. Alright, where am I going? East of Catherby. East of Eastern Catherby and Evergreen, yeah, there's one. Yeah, why didn't we work this instead of Prince Ali Rescue? Okay, got a bucket of sap. Nice. What else do I need? A willow log. What about rat catchers? Well, rat catchers can just be deleted, can't it? Like, we don't need to rework rat catchers. But the problem with Icthlarin's Little Helper is it has lore significance and requirement significance, which makes it much trickier. And a big part of why we didn't block access to Menopause behind it. Didn't we? We didn't, did we? I don't think we did. Or am I going crazy? Right, what do I need? A willow log. Linen. Do I have linen? No, but it says I can buy some. A water skin. I should probably take several because I'm going to soften them, right? Is there a water source here? Yeah, there is. Let's take a few of them. A tinderbox, which I've got. Sorry, so I've got a kitten, a tinderbox, a water skin, salt, linen, willow log, bucket of sap. Yep. And I'll take some of my burnt fish. Nice. Tuna. Since I've just been cooking a load of tuna. Let's go. I also need to get my magic up to 59 so I can do Family Crest. Right, now where am I going? Soften them. What do I need to do to get these? Desert Treasure, Jack of Spades. I could go to Menopause now. Yeah, no, I was wondering about going to Menopause to do some skilling, to try it out for mid-level skilling, because I haven't done proper mid-level skilling in it, to sort of see how it feels for that. So yeah, it's probably a good idea to go to Menopause. That requires Diamond in the Rough, doesn't it? Oh, Sophanum, Sophanum, Sophanum. It probably is Sophanum. I would say Sophanum. Oh, sorry, no, you're saying Sophanum. That's an American thing. Are you Americans, Aaron? I assume. I've noticed that British people tend to put the emphasis on the first syllable, and Americans tend to put the emphasis on the second syllable. I don't know why. Where am I going? Like Diplodocus and Diplodocus. And the American way usually sounds cooler, like the emphasis on the second syllable gives the word a sense of forward motion. That would be my completely random summary. Yeah, Jack of Spades was the new one, right? Where you fly on the magic carpet. I did do that at the time. Well, I'll do that afterwards, maybe. May as well. I did, like, I played all of Menopause back when we were developing it, but I haven't thought about it since then. Hey, look! This is, what a fun addition. Sorry, I shouldn't make fun of it. I just know you guys don't like it. I mean, there's a difficult question, right, about the busy world. Like the noisy world. I get very frustrated with the noisy world. Is that an example of fun variety? I don't know. Wait, where is it I'm going anyway? Oh, hang on, I should just check the map, shouldn't I? I turned off everything on the map. And then I've gradually been turning it back on again, because when you start, everything is turned off. The quest is broken and the magic carpet doesn't appear. Good, of course it does. Alright. That's a relatively consistent aesthetic. Besides it. Yes, I was talking to some people today and trying to explain about where RuneScape has deviated from its aesthetic and thematic roots in recent years, and Tusker is my go-to example of, like, there is a crashed alien spacecraft right next to a camp of Bedouins, and it just I don't know. I mean, tell me if you disagree, but I don't feel like Tusker fits the aesthetic of where it's placed in the world. It feels like it's intruding on RuneScape to me. It doesn't feel to me like I don't feel like when I'm wandering around the desert doing desert content that the addition of Tusker is making the game better. Is that fair? I'm not reading this dialogue properly because I'm thinking about Tusker. Yeah, if it was, yeah, I mean, because this is the interesting thing about I was saying, wasn't I? Because like older content expanded out the world, and then at some point, for some reason, we drew a border on the western coast and stopped expanding the world and started plonking this content into the early game instead. Oh crap! Can I give it the tinderbox? The tinderbox I've got is on my. Oh no! Do I need another tinderbox? For God's sake! The tinderbox will not. Oh, the tinderbox and the tool belt will not work. There's a crucial word "not" in there. Is there a bank anywhere nearby that I can use, or do I need to go all the way back to our grid? Can I use the one in Nada? Or is it locked behind some other quest I haven't done? I can buy a tinderbox in Nada. I've got one in my bank, I'm sure. Got all random stuff in my bank. Hey guys. Can't imagine ever coming back here. I mean I think that's where I mean you guys complain about quest requirements and it's like something like, I mean, because there's the thing, right? I know that like the extreme opinion is like God Wars Dungeon 2 should be locked behind the quest line. I know most of you guys don't have that opinion, but there is the most extreme version of that opinion is like literally the Heart of Gielinor shouldn't exist for you until you've progressed through the quests far enough to have it make logical sense to you. But I feel like it kind of so given that that isn't possible, and I think most people recognise that that isn't possible, but that is as disruptive in a sense as a lot of other content. Like it's that one's nowhere near as bad as Tusker, but it is still disruptive to the aesthetic. Like it's not matching the aesthetic of the location. And it sort of demonstrates that like adding content into the existing world is always going to be difficult. It's always going to look out of place. Yeah, I don't know, but at the same time, it's the same as usual, right? It's just a difficult problem because what we could do just keep expanding the world east, keep expanding the world north. Basically keep adding more Kandarins, like add more and more Kandarins, which is kind of what Old School did. Like they, Zaya and Kurend is what they basically how they solved that problem. Oh, I've forgotten most of this. Oh, I don't have my Ghost Speak amulet. Do I need a Ghost Speak amulet? Oh, you don't. I don't need to talk to it. Then I'm not going to talk to it. That's the north door of the southern pyramid. Oh, I am at the north door of the southern pyramid. Wait, isn't this the door I just came out of? Yes, of course it is. That makes sense, yeah. Well, it does make sense, but only in retrospect. I love this quest so much. In old school, well, he said in old school you can just move past all the traps. Wait, did I miss something here? Didn't die instantly to my fire breath, or fail. I've been getting very frustrated in Arkham Horror because I put a load of elemental damage types in and it completely didn't work. And people got really annoyed by it. But in RuneScape, I think, like, actually... Oh, sorry, it doesn't work in the endgame PVM level. But at this level of development, like, these things could take additional fire damage. But I guess you couldn't probably deal... Well, then, yeah, fire spells existed when this quest was added, didn't they? But then maybe this thing isn't actually coded. Is it coded to do fire damage? I don't actually know. Fire breath does fire damage. I don't know how that's implemented. The ground decoration didn't match. Stones on the ground are somewhat of an indication where the traps are. I'm not sure what I missed, but... Well, tell me if I'm about to walk on another one and have to start the whole thing again. No! Ah! Yeah, I'm not... Yeah, I need to talk to the Combat Council about the state of basic attacks, especially magic, where it never made sense in the first place, right? I don't know what... When I fell down the thing before, I don't know what I stood on, so I don't know what to check for this time. I think those scarabs are cute. Like, the pits are next to big vertical blocks. Oh, is it on the wall? Was it a wall feature? I didn't see, but there's no... There's no consistent indication of the pits, right? Great. Looking at the map, it looks like there aren't any more traps after this. Can we just run through? Is there any reason to go past those wall crushers? There's a chest there, let's go there. Well, that trap isn't marked on the map. Where did it put me? Oh, here. Okay, so there just isn't any indication that there's a trap there. Or there. Wow. Now I remember why I didn't like this quest. We're going to persist though, and then we're going to put the pits in the same place as the punishment rocks. That's what we're going to do. Got that. Doesn't even make me chatty. That's sad. Right, hang on. So okay, so I don't know where either of these pits are, but I think that there's one there and there's one there. I think. So if I step there, I'm probably okay. But maybe not. Maybe I should step one more forward on here. And then like that. Or maybe I should have just surged. Maybe actually what I should have done is just surge down the corridor. Oh no, probably can't. It's probably blocked. Did they block surge in here? Take the money and run. Yeah. Because if someone took the time to block surge in here, I should try actually, shouldn't I? They don't knock 50 coins. Okay, I know what they're doing. God, I can't remember. I'm using my agility. Oh, this is going to go well. Was the worth it? Of course the 50 coins was worth it. What? The point was the accomplishment. It's a sense of accomplishment that you get. Not the, it's not the coins themselves that matter, it's what the coins symbolise. Alright, yep. Okay. Let's see if I can remember how to do this puzzle. Almost. Almost. I've got myself into a silly situation now, haven't I? No, that's not good. Ah, it's a disaster. What am I doing? Yeah, it's quite responsive, yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Don't know if it's been implemented client side. Oh, of course it's not. I'm treating it as if it's a cross, but it's not. It's a square. Hang on. Yeah. Come on, that's close enough. Okay, I'm getting closer. This looks possible? No, no. Completely wrong. Complete fail. That's so much worse. Why? Why? Oh, apparently they range in how easy they are to solve. Good. So I could just close it and start again. Let's do that. That sounds like a much better idea. I don't know. It's a perfectly legitimate kind of puzzle. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not the kind of puzzle I especially enjoy. There we go. There's nothing wrong with it as a piece of puzzle design, and it's well implemented. Betty. A husband and wife have 6 sons, and each son has 1 sister. How many people are in the family? 9. Well, I don't want to risk my cat. Yeah, it is 9. There we go, totally positive. I didn't actually explore the place, did I? Was Sophanum added with this quest? I assume it was. I mean, it's fascinating to think about, isn't it? Like, in terms of, like, being an era of RuneScape where, like, you're making a quest and you just bung down a new city for fun. How did that... I'm trying to think about how the map looked at the time. Was it... What did Menaphos look like at the time? I can't remember. Was it just black here? I was like... Was there the wall and then it was just black beyond? Yeah. And it's kind of promising, like, content, but then... Yeah, like, but that's the thing, like, adding a city is so much easier. Partly in terms of graphical quality, but also partly in terms of just... There doesn't necessarily need to be anything there, or, you know, you just bung down a couple of, like, sinks and call it a day, you know? Like, it doesn't... The content wasn't so difficult to make cities at the time, you know? It feels very different. Water skin's doing? Oh, not very well. Should go and fill them up. What should I actually do narratively to unlock Menaphos? It's wanted, isn't it? All the way up to wanted? What more is required for wanted? Oh, what am I supposed to be doing? The south side of the city in the temple. Is that here? Contact, sorry. Yes, of course, not wanted. That's what I meant. They both got an exclamation mark on the end. Check my quest journal. That'd be difficult. Oh, what? Check. Wait, what? Wait. Check my quest journal for what? Talk to the High Priest. That's what I'm doing. You're pronouncing it without the exclamation mark. Contact! You mean like that? Oh, it cleared up my quest item. Good job, quest. Go back to the pyramid, right click on the cat door. Is it the same door? Like, I couldn't do a good job of this whole Amaska cat plot point because it would... You know what would be cool? During the flashback, when you fall victim to a trap, it could just very quickly go, oh, yeah, that isn't what happened. Like, Prince of Persia does that. Prince of Persia Sands of Time has this joke where, like, he goes, no, that's not what... Let me try again. And then just respawns you. And then you learn where all the traps are, and mark where all the traps are. And then, when you come back here for reals, you know where all the traps are. Wouldn't that be good? Didn't know where that trap was. I don't know. Yeah. Why don't I surge? I'm not in the habit of surging around at all. I just haven't really incorporated it into my basic movement. Then it would feel like it had a point. The flashback would then kind of have a point, right? Because it would be about learning what's going on. Wait, so where was the... I think it was there last time. No. Yep. yeah, it was. It was there. I was correct. I was right all the time. Wait, so can I surge in here? Let's try. Yes, I can. Right. Do you think that skips past the traps? It should do, shouldn't it? The flashback does have a point. What point is that? Oh man! Come on! I don't like if those tiles were marked and you had to be careful. It would be annoying, but it would be fine. Like literally the first time you notice one, you're like, right, well, okay, I guess I'm going to be careful of this now, and that would be fine. But in the first flashback, you set the entire quest into motion. What do you mean? Like you. Like, literally, you could just not do the flashback, because you could just walk up to the Sphinx and be like, dude, I found this thing in my back, what's this? Like, this, you have no other reason to talk to the Sphinx anyway, right? Like, there's no logical reason to talk to the Sphinx after the flashback. And you've still done the things that happened in the flashback, you just don't remember them. The flashback doesn't act like it gives you an indication of what happened, but it doesn't. It just basically forces you to do the entire pyramid twice for some reason. But you don't learn anything. I don't think. Do you? You don't learn it other than I went into the pyramid. You don't learn anything. I don't think. Did I miss something? Right. What am I doing wrong here? Go there. Go there. Now, what did I do wrong last time? I got to the end of here and something else went wrong and I can't remember what it was. I'm scared to move now. I'm going to see if I can find a more detailed map. Sometimes it will help her traps. That's old school. This one just says there are traps somewhere in this corridor. This one seems to think I'll be safe if I stick to this wall. But didn't I fall? I'm sure I moved along this wall before and fell down. You require 60 agility, so everyone. Right, am I safe now? I think I'm safe now. God. No, no I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay. Wait, I've closed the tab now. No. Wait, is there a reason why I went in that room rather than that room? Does it make any difference? Yeah, because the other room doesn't have any jars in. So is the other room, in the previous flashback, was the other room just not interactable? Hey buddy. Let's go, let's rock and roll. Wait, I can't remember whose canopic jar I had before. Oh, I've got an unholy symbol I can go get blessed. Or is that only in the flashback? Am I supposed to have checked which jar I had? Because I don't remember. Let's click on all of them. I don't need this jar. Oh, does that mean I just clicked on the first one correctly by coincidence? Hmm. When was this released? I mean, I know Egyptian stuff is not it's a common trope in this sort of situation, right? But when did this come out in relation to the Mummy? This was 2005. When was the Mummy? Because like stuff like the Scarab Swarm, that was 1999. Yeah, okay. Because the Scarab Swarm, I don't think is a common trope. Maybe I'm wrong. It's become a common trope now. Oh no, what have I done? No comment. So wait, does Contact have any more requirements? I can't remember. Let's have a look. Contact. No. Okay. Well, let's do Contact as well then. There's no point in skipping straight ahead if we can just do Contact. Although actually, well, hang on, no, I didn't check the actual... It doesn't have any quest requirements. It needs prayer. No, it needs recommends prayer. That's fine. Doesn't have any skill requirements. So I should just do Contact then. But yes, so you remember at the time, the controversy about whether Menaphos should require Contact. And didn't. And this is why. Like, this is why. Because, I mean, in part, like, if it had been Prif, you know, if Menaphos had been Prif, people can jump through this hoop to unlock Prif, right? But Menaphos wasn't Prif. I think it probably should have been. Well, or, like, I didn't think the game especially needed a mid-level hub. But given that it wasn't a high-level hub, there wasn't any justification for completing this content to get to it, and people would have just not bothered. And in fact, a lot of people didn't bother anyway, right? Even though it wasn't locked behind anything. Am I doing something wrong here? I don't think I am. Am I just failing an agility check? And here's some Menopause stories, like stories of development of Menopause. I wasn't heavily involved in the update. But I pitched something which I still think would have been a good idea. So they put a lot of effort into the city itself. Obviously, like the environment, you know, it's a beautiful city, like it's very detailed, but you don't use it very much. And my pitch was that like Menopause should be under attack by the creatures, and the streets themselves should be the Slayer dungeon, rather than modelling an entirely separate Slayer dungeon. And that way we would have got double use out of that environment without having to create an entirely separate environment. And players would have spent more time in the city itself. I am having a good time. I mean, okay, like this quest, we can't do a full rework. We could just delete all of those traps off the floor though, and make these agility checks unfailable. Would that just at least make it quick to get through? I haven't been writing down notes for fixing quests because it's not a key priority for me, but this one feels... like... Yeah, I mean, I still don't think it would be a great quest, but it yeah, it would at least not be so painful to get through. Because that would be quite quick. That would be quite a quick little fix. I mean, it's hard to... Like, I don't want to be like... But actually, this annoyed the hell out of me the first time I played it as well. Is there anything else this bad? I mean, people were talking earlier about One Small Favor being iconic. What? Oh, is my run energy too low? Is that affecting it? But like, yeah, but like, what? So like, One Small Favor obviously has its problems, but it's iconic, right? And I don't feel like this trap... I mean, I'm sure there's some old school streamer that's made like a 5-hour-long stream of failing this again and again and again, but it's not iconic to RuneScape's culture, right? Whereas this quest... Yeah, sorry, whereas, like, you could... Yeah, I'm not in a hurry to delete One Small Favor, it kind of is what it is, right? But this one feels like it's kind of a problem. Well, why don't we superstitiously let our run energy refill to 100% on the theory that it might help. Let's do that. That will definitely help. Hi, Booze. Bose? Okay, 100%. Here we go. Here we go. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I am tired, but I'm doing okay. does the quest do anything for the plot? I mean, it establishes a link between cats and Icthlarin and Amaska, right? Like that thing. I feel like that's its primary purpose. And I mean, it's cute. Like if you think about like story linking at the time, it's super cute that it links Gertrude's cat, which is, as we were saying, like a cute little children's quest, into a fairly serious desert storyline. Like that's cute. It's not my taste personally because I'm not a cat person, but I see what they're trying to do. Is it just total coincidence that I did it the first time without even... Imagine how salty I would have been then. Cats are never used in the desert plot again. Right, yeah, but like, they were clearly supposed to be. I think it might help if I have to run turned off. Yeah, let's do superstitious things like that. I love it. Let's do it. I love that kind of thing. Like players come up with wacky theories as to how it helps. Let's do it. Just reading people's theories. Wait to 100%. Unequip everything. What was I going to do? Turn off run. That's not going to help. Now I'm going to do it 100% and we're going to confirm the rumours, right? Yeah. No! Oh! No, we made it there. No, incorrect, right? What I love is, very occasionally a developer will write something insane into code on purpose, and then from then on, players are just like, every game they ever play, they're like, try this, try that, try all these crazy things. And then obviously because of the way randomness works, like some of them work and some of them seem to get confirmed. So they have all this insane conspiracy theorizing on Thorin. It's great. What an epic live stream this is. Man, I tell you, I'm not even getting any good anecdotes out of it, because I only get good anecdotes. Sorry, like, I think of anecdotes when I'm prompted to. Oh, finally I've done it. And this isn't prompting me to think of good anecdotes. I should ramble about Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation or something. That's what I should do. Alright, now I'm just gonna read the guide now, because I don't have to do that again. Solve a puzzle. Right. Yeah, I know what I'm on this time. No chance. What? This one is at least gameable. Is this as bad? I don't think this needs fixing. I mean, it's not. But this doesn't feel like something that would need to be changed. Like, not with the minimal, like with the full rework maybe, but not with the minimal rework. It could be a bit frustrating, but then you need to look it up. Why do I have a casket in my inventory? I don't know. Why do I have a casket in my inventory? Did I get that? 160 coins. Nice. Drop the jar where you found it. Wait, the jar is there. What? Is that because this isn't instanced? So do I need to drop this jar? That's really confusing. That's conceptually extremely confusing. It's supposed to be a multi-lark. Oh, okay, alright, okay. So there's just I'll note that down as well, why not? Bug with jar being visible. Of course we managed to cross the pit at the time when we want to fall in. Of course we do. Oh wait, hang on, there was a... Come on, let's go. Let's do it. Yeah. Exploits. I should get some more magic armor. Probably shouldn't still be wearing this spider silk. Back to the High Priest. Oh, I need linen. Wandering around next to the Sphinx. Sorry, I'm tired out. I'm not chatting very much. I'm not sure I should do another quest after this. Oh, what was I going to do? I was going to do Jack of Spades, wasn't I? Oh, I was going to do Kite's Contact Long. Do. Contact is medium. But I don't remember it. I don't remember whether I've completed it at all. Where's the embalmer? There you are. Don't remember whether I completed contact. Need some linen, need some salt, need some sap. They don't... Presumably they don't have coniferous trees around here. So it's a bit odd that their rituals depend on the sap of coniferous trees. Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. You can't... yeah, fair enough, called it out. But it's still a bit odd for their culture to be dependent on it. Right. Where's the carpenter? He's down. Where's the carpenter? Down here. No, that's inside. Where's the carpenter? Who has a teak tree? You could put a teak tree in the area and have it needed. Yeah. Yeah, like. Maybe they import it. The desert didn't used to be a desert. Yes, well, I mean, I suppose so. But their society would have had to adapt after the disaster, right? And like, you'd think that their rituals would incorporate elements that they didn't have to import. Where is this carpenter? Here somewhere. This doesn't look like a carpenter shop. You're not a carpenter. Maybe the carpenter's next door. Oh, there's, yeah, furniture on his house. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's solid, absolutely solid level design. House covered in furniture. So they're talking as if I'd spoken to them and they were rude, but I didn't speak to them earlier because there was no reason to. Is it a reasonable assumption? So this was a new zone. So a certain type of player, when they get access to this zone, would immediately click on everyone in the zone and be quite excited to talk to them. But I don't. I mean, this is an example of where choosing quests is quite awkward because then you go like, okay, well, let's have some special dialogue if you spoke to them earlier. I guess, yeah, there's no particular reason you can't do that. It's a little flavour element. Is it? Yeah, that one's appropriate because it's rewarding the players who explored earlier, got a bit of extra dialogue earlier, and got a bit of extra dialogue later as well. Something like that. Seems quite nice. Yes, I had worked out that you were Cobra, Space Viking, from your manner and opinions, which seemed very similar. Yeah, willow is also very much not a desert word, right? Like, yeah. Okay, have you got it for me yet? Nice. Oops. I mean, it's incredibly minor. If I was reviewing this quest, I would have said I re-clicked during that little gap, put a dot 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 in instead. Like that's what you want for. That's what a dot 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 dialogue box is for, right? To indicate that there's a short pause. Okay, now what am I doing? Oh, do I need to go back to the pyramid? Where am I going? Check the quest up. Question now. I must get the holy symbol. Wait, what? I got the holy symbol. Give it to the high priest. Ellipses are for the wiki to break out sick. Yeah. Someone needs to talk to them about that. Where are you, high priest? Where have you gone? You gone back to the altar, back to the pyramid or something? Why would you have gone to the pyramid? I don't have any. I don't know where the. Oh, what happens if I try and get into Menopause? I haven't tried this. Let's go find out. I mean. Talk to a regular priest. Yes, 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 that does make sense actually. That's my fault. There's absolutely no reason not to just click on the NPCs in the area and figure out and ask them. Nope. Good idea, but no. According to the walkthrough, I just have to go back to the pyramid again. But I don't remember the high priest ever mentioning where the ceremony would be. And it's an interesting example of different layers of feedback, right? We were talking about like what would the minimal changes be to this quest. So by removing the incredibly egregious trap elements, we've made it possible to just blast through with a walkthrough, which is an improvement. But it's not a great quest from the point of view of like not just blasting through it with a walkthrough, because it's missing all of this sort of. Oh god, I've got to get through the traps again, haven't I? I've probably still got my original salty review of Icthlarin at the Harbour from 10 years ago. But I also wrote a salty review of Goblin Diplomacy, and that was nowhere near as bad. Like my objection to Goblin Diplomacy was just like, because I was playing without a guide, it forcing you to run backwards and forwards. Like Goblin Diplomacy sort of gleefully wastes your time, as a lot of those early quests do. And I've got used to the idea now of using a guide, but from the point of view of a new player, the way Goblin Diplomacy makes you run back and forth through the village is just like the dialogue's good, but that early gameplay of like, now come back and bring me something else. Oh, I was complaining about it yesterday, wasn't I? Was it yesterday? Whenever it was. I'm still not 100% clear on where those traps actually are. Lodestones exist now. Yes. But that's, you're thinking about it, when you say Lodestones help with Goblin Diplomacy, you're thinking about it from the point of view of a veteran RuneScape player who's already accustomed to having their time wasted, so you get less of your time wasted by using the Lodestone. But it's still wasting your time, it's just wasting less of it. And that's not, okay, that's not good content. Right, do I have to... Oh, I don't actually have to jump with it. Cobra said Goblin Diplomacy's biggest issue. Yes, I was a bit surprised by those archaeology questions. They seem to have been designed to prioritize archaeology, which surprised me because quite a lot of those NPCs are used for other things as well. And it's inconsistent with the the way area tasks are implemented, where it's like ask about quest, ask about area tasks. Those archaeology ones look like they were kind of put in on the assumption that they would later be made less intrusive, but they haven't been made less intrusive. Let me note that one down. And it made the process of low-level questing a bit confusing. Wise old man Rel, though, yeah. So, I mean, where I am at now with this quest mentally is, I don't want to have to think about it. I'm fed up of this quest now, and so I'm looking at the walkthrough without even trying to figure it out for myself, because I just want to get the quest over with. And this, I mean, we were saying about this with Underground. So I enjoyed Underground Pass more than this. I think that's worth saying. Like, I really don't like this one. The fact that I'm having to do the same puzzle 3 times is awful. Like, Underground Pass is at least different things, even if each of them is a bit annoying. And this is the sort of thing that leads to people saying, like, it's tricky really, because like the statement RuneScape has great quests isn't false. But if you, and this is why I have a problem with this whole attitude of like, oh, the best thing for new players to do is start at the start and play through all the quests in order, because they'll play a couple of great quests, they'll play a couple of great remakes, they'll do Cook's system, which is completely inoffensive, and they'll be like, is that what RuneScape quests are like? And then they'll do something else like Rune or Blood Pact, which is actually pretty solid. I mean, it's very, very simple, but it's well written. And then they'll run straight into something like this. I mean, this one's actually reasonably far down the list, but you know what I mean. They'll run into something like this, and they won't come away with the impression that RuneScape has got really good quests. And the people that say RuneScape has got really good quests won't sound like they know what they're talking about in the context of something like Icthlarin, so help her. Right, what am I supposed to be doing? Go to the East Room, enter, and use the symbol on the sarcophagus. And this is the sort of thing that puts people off from questing, and it's the sort of thing that puts people off from questing without a guide as well. To warn the quest. Alright. Here we go, boys. What's the first thing you're likely to come across? I don't know, it depends on timeline. It depends on the way you have your quest list sorted, right? So I've been specifically sorting in release order. Timeline is the one that we've been talking about recommending. Don't hide done. So what's the first quest we do that's annoying enough to put you off the game? The remade Demon Slayer is fine, it's quite easy. Should ever have is not that bad. So yeah, assuming that we're sorting it, what's the default sorting for a new character? Does anyone know? Is it timeline? Trying to think, Witch's Potion, that's fine. Pirate Treasure. Timeline was made default 2 months ago, right, cool. You think Soul's Bane is the first quest that's really problematic? No, well hang on. I mean the first, like Monk's Friend was, I guess it was kind of inoffensive, but it was bad. Like it was bad, but not horrible. Biohazard was the first one I came across in my most recent one, where I was like, oh, this is not great. Like Biohazard has a lot of running backwards and forwards. Clock Tower, yeah, Clock Tower. I just full guided all the way through. I get what it's doing. That's fine. It's like a cool little dungeon, but it's very puzzled. I didn't stream Clock Tower, did I? Clock Tower feels like a piece of content that would have fit really well into RuneScape at the time. Because it was kind of a weird puzzle challenge that required you to understand the game mechanics quite well. So I would imagine that the school children playing Clock Tower were really excited to tell everyone else how to do Clock Tower. That sounds like something that probably happened quite a lot, you know? And it feels well designed for that context. But now, as an old quest trying to just grind past it quickly, definitely use a guide. Wait. This is going to be a challenging fight like Astia Frostweb, isn't it? There. Icthlarin looks surprisingly not. The last time I completed this, the Icthlarin hadn't changed. There was no new Icthlarin model, I think, because that was made for MPD, wasn't it? That model. But he doesn't look ludicrously out of place like he sometimes does. Like sometimes new models in old environments look ludicrously out of place. He looks great, but for some reason he's not like popping out of the environment ludicrously. I'm not sure why. It's really interesting. He looks like he fits. You know, I don't know. It's strange. I'm assuming he wasn't designed with that in mind. Maybe it's just the color, use of color or something. I don't know. Goodness me. Oh, I have a canopy jar. Hey. Why do I always win the pit? God damn it. Looking outside the door should just put you outside the dungeon. That's a tricky one from a game design point of view. I've really struggled with that one. Of like, to what extent should you go back? You can see like the philosophy in something like Skyrim where they always there's always a route back at the end of every single dungeon. There's a very contrived secret door that takes you back to the entrance, and that makes the dungeons feel very not just samey because every single dungeon has one of those, but like very unnatural. Um, it's difficult to get right. Literally a bug because it's the Scabrous jar. Very good. Very good. Oh my good lord. I mean, well, I mean, what do we want to review that quest? At a fairly fundamental level, forcing you to do the pyramid over and over again is just weird. It's just a weird thing for the quest to want you to do. Why is it? In theory, there's something intriguing in the idea of doing something in a flash and doing it again in the present. Um, and you could structure it so that, like, you know, you did a third of the pyramid in flashback and then a third of the pyramid in the present, and then the next third of the pyramid in the flashback and the next, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, have it be different parts of the pyramid. Like, imagine Underground Pass where you're like, in a flashback you're doing evil things, and then in the present you're trying to make up for the evil things you did. Something like that. That sounds like it could work. Um, but as it is, it just makes you do the pyramid multiple times for basically no reason. It's. I mean, sorry, you could say logically within the narrative of the quest there is a reason to do it again and again and again, but from a game design point of view, there's absolutely no call for asking you to do the same puzzle twice, the same, you know, the same pyramid 6 times, 3 times. Um, you could do something with that, but it doesn't. It doesn't do something with that. I mean, could you make the same? I mean, could you make the same criticism of Broken Home? In Broken Home, you're just running backwards and forwards over the same ground. But that's the point of Broken Home: is that you're gradually learning. You're gradually learning the environment, and you're gradually mastering your navigation of that environment, and unlocking more and more of it, and crisscrossing the same central area to get to the next part you've unlocked. And also, it's not full of annoying traps. If it was full of, I don't think RuneScape is a good game to do that gameplay in. But in principle, you know, if Broken Home's central hall had an interesting um, dodge mechanic that you had to do as you navigated it in a different game engine, I think that could work quite well. I think I wouldn't put content like that in um, in RuneScape probably because it would be irritating to repeat every single time. The plasma windows, yeah, but the plasma windows just require you to leave as soon as possible. And so Synesianus, specifically what Synesianus does, is he rewards you for having learned your way around the house in the first half. So having mastered the layout of the house in the first half of the quest, that mastery is then tested in the second half of the quest. The floor glass is only in the kitchen, isn't it? I think that's like a one room. But yeah, I didn't implement that bit. But yeah, the floor glass is it's just like it's basically that one room, but you never have to go back through that room, do you? Because you just don't you unlock a way back and you never have to go through it again. I think so. It's more like a specific challenge in that room. What I was meaning was like a trap you had to navigate again and again and again as you come back through the same zone. Um, Prince of Persia Warrior Within was structured that way, where you had to keep repeating the same loop. It was kind of like it was a platformer, so you had to keep repeating the same platforming loop. Um, you took the long way around to avoid plasma rooms. Oh, well, for not eating, right? I'm not happy. One of my personal regrets with Broken Home is never explaining what that even is. There's no explanation in the story about what the purple glow even is. It was kind of a cheap way of creating threat because we didn't have very much. Like, so Broken Home was produced on an incredibly small budget. I'm not sure if that's clear from the quest. It was supposed to be like a Halloween event, and we made a quest instead, and it's quite an elaborate, complicated quest. Yes, the worst part is the book puzzle. I'm very salty about that book puzzle. In fact, I'm going to write that down. That goddamn book puzzle. That makes me really salty. Because I sent feedback on fixing it, and they didn't fix it, and I'm annoyed about it. Because, like, I mean, I know people don't like Broken Home. There are a lot of people who don't like Broken Home because they don't enjoy the real-time aspect or whatever. They find it annoying. Or they don't enjoy having to do the timed achievement, which also I'm not super happy about having that. Like, I wanted the quest to be repeatable, and it was insisted on that if it was repeatable, then it had to be repeated, and it had to be repeated for a reward. And that I think a lot of the bad sentiment, not all of it, but a lot of the bad sentiment around Broken Home comes from being forced to do it twice straight away, following a guide to get a ring. Um, yeah. Anyway, hang on. Oh, I've just written book puzzle. Broken Home book puzzle. God damn it. But yeah, that book puzzle is horrible. I swear I streamed it at one point. Or talked about the book puzzle. Maybe it was in an internal thing. But yeah, that book puzzle. What would I change about it? I should probably talk about that if I ever do Broken Home. Okay, the problem with the book puzzle is it doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't give you any feedback. It's not clear what you're trying to. So it does give you feedback, but the feedback it gives you is nonsensical, and it's not really clear what you're trying to do or why. Like there's no logic to it. What you're trying to accomplish doesn't make sense. Why it fails doesn't make sense, and the information it gives you about why it fails doesn't make sense. There's essentially nothing about it makes any sense. I've got the email somewhere. I wonder if I've got the. I wonder if I've got. Let me have a look through my email. I wonder if I've got the email that I sent about Broken Home. I've probably still got it in my work email somewhere. I'm just finding old. I'm not going to read out all my old work email. But, finding. Oh wow, John Aliff's feedback on the Mighty Fall. Wow. Oh, here we go. Yeah, sorry. I'm sure John wouldn't mind me reading out a line of dialogue. This is totally off topic, but I just happened to come across it. I'm sure John wouldn't mind me reading out something where he suggested an improvement to the quest that we implemented. I don't like Xanax saying she'll lead the Bandosian army into Ubius to die. It seems too heartless. From her point of view, the army consists of innocents who've been manipulated into fighting. You could instead say that she thinks it's possible to resettle Ubiusk, and she'll redirect the army's efforts into doing this. You do hint at this at the end, but I'd make it her plan from the start. Did we implement that? I think we did. Where's... No, I can't find my broken home feedback. Oh. A speedrun of a quest that actually takes some skill is a unique way to give people what at the time was the best in slot item. Yeah, I kind of agree. But the problem was that it kind of forced, like, it doubled down on the sentiment of like forcing people to do quests, and it made them resent the content, and that's always a problem. Um, it's always a problem when we're forcing people to do content they don't want, especially when it's very challenging, you know. And all three achievements, doing all three achievements in Broken Home isn't trivial. It's not the most difficult thing in the world. There are harder things in the game, but it's a thing you have to put some thought and effort into, and some people, can't because of their lag or whatever. Sorry, I should finish this question now. Getting distracted. Cat people are the worst. The flaw of the Mighty Fall is Zanuck implies she's got magically better. Yes, I mean, yes. The thing about the Mighty Fall is it's working with this bizarre requirement that there has to be an option to kill Zanuck. So we're sort of working around that. Right, what was the next? Was I just going to try and do contact? Was that? Is that a good idea? When was Contact released? 2007. Whoa, we're just shooting forward in time now. Like, what? 2007? There's been 4 years of RuneScape content. This was developed by Chris J and Mod Pneumatic. I don't remember Mod Pneumatic. I think he must have left. Must have left before I arrived, or just I don't recognise his mod name. Contact. Talk to the High Priest of Icthlarin. Oh, let's go. Do we need anything? Let's hope not. Oh, can I open the Sophanum doors now? Or can I get in and out of Sophanum? You think I should do Jack of Spades? No, I was going to do Contact first, because Contact ought to be done before doing Menethos, right? So that's why I was going to do Contact first. Is it reasonable to say at this point that Zanuck's death has been retconned? Technically no, but actually yes. Like, I could talk to Nati. Yeah, let's do that. Although the last dialogue you recommended I read it wasn't worth reading, but this I'm sure this is going to be awesome. When was this dialogue added? Was this dialogue added with Icthlarin's Little Helper? Is that how new players will engage with the content? No, but I'm capable of making that distinction for myself, so I'm interested to see. Like, if I do it, quote, in order, because new players aren't going to engage with the content I've been doing it in release order, and new players definitely aren't going to do that. I'm just intrigued to see RuneScape developing over time, because I've never done content in release order like that before. New players will stumble across stuff as they stumble across it, or will follow a guide and do Waterfall Quest and Night Sword and stuff. But I know what that experience, like the new player experience, I can see from new players, or I can see from streamers. So I don't need to exactly duplicate that. What's your name is the dialogue I'm referring to. What's your name? Gasp, Dragonkin? You think Mark probably wrote that dialogue? He might have done. He doesn't write much dialogue. I don't know though. Okay, cool. Right, let's go do the quest. Do. The ending cutscene. Oh, do I need to talk to my cat as well? Wait, how do I actually put the cat down? Do I need to talk to the cat? No, don't pick it up again. I'm a bit confused about all that business with the Devourer. Was this part of the same quest? He was specifically credited as writing cat dialogue for Icthlarin's Little Helper. Oh, okay. I mean, I wouldn't say that's the ending. It doesn't serve any purpose within the structure of the story. It's just an extra bit of dialogue. Oh, if you talk again. What? No, that wasn't an ending. And this is just summarizing the quest, right? Like, we knew all this information anyway. Or maybe I didn't know that information about Icthlarin and Amascut. It feels to me, this dialogue feels to me like dialogue, like someone played the quest and didn't really understand what was supposed to happen, and so asked for a summary to be written at the end of the quest, and the developer said, "Okay, sure, I'll put it, but I'm going to hide it." That would be my diagnosis of what happened here, because it's just kind of retreading all of the events of the quest, but I mean, it's essentially like the light and shadow voices at the end of Twilight of the Gods, right? Just explaining everything really, really plainly. Um, but like all of this information was obvious during the quest, wasn't it? Am I missing something? Was something the bit about Amascut devouring souls wasn't in the quest, I don't think. Except she did threaten to devour my soul in that final little cutscene bit. But oh god, Light Cat and Shadow Cat. Oh god, that's actually quite a good idea. I don't like it. I don't want to write cat content, but my wife, if I mention that to my wife, she'll be like, "Yes, do it. You have to do it." Light Cat, Shadow Cat. Like with the so okay, yeah. Again, it's interesting. Like I don't want to criticize this because I don't think it's wrong. It only looks wrong in retrospect. I would say that didn't the quest didn't mention Menaphos at all, did it? I don't think. I don't remember the word Menaphos appearing at any point during the quest. And the fact that Sophanum has been quarantined from Menaphos also wasn't mentioned during the quest. And anything about the relationship between Sophanum and Menaphos wasn't mentioned in the quest. But presumably a few NPCs around the place make that clear. So when you explore... Yeah, no, this is the next quest. But now we're talking... He's introducing the new quest to me by saying, oh, we need to lift the plague so that Menaphos will let us back in, which is new information to me. But I'm talking as if it's like he's talking to me as if it's something I knew in the previous quest. But presumably presumably there was a Menaphos guard with Sophanum, was there not? I'm guessing that when Sophanum was first released, there were NPCs you could talk to in the area that explained things like Menaphos is over this way and they've cut us off. And in that context of a new zone being released, that's a really good way of, rather than forcing all that information onto the critical path of the quest, having it be something that you can just sort of pick up from the environment if you care, is a really good way. Is a really good way. Yeah, I tried to cross the bridge, but he was a new Menaphos guard. I don't know when he was added. I don't know whether he was added with Menaphos or not. Um, Chaplin said, ILH released, we figured out the quarantine and contact was released and the assumption already knew. Yeah, exactly. So like as a way of organically telling a story in a way that the players, like it's Dark Souls storytelling, right? Or it's not as extreme as Dark Souls, but it's elegant like RPG storytelling where you pick up what's going on from the environment rather than having to be told it using a voiced 2D cutscene. The problem is then it's not very future proof because then when I now come to it and I'm just going through the quests, like these little bits of feedback we keep getting given from players who are like, I'm playing through the quests and I don't have the information I need. It's typically phrased as a complaint because the quest was not required. I don't have the information I need to make sense of the story. I have been following through these quests in order. I have been doing the requirements, but I don't have the information I need because I didn't wander around and talk to random NPCs to learn a thing. I specifically went across the bridge to talk to the guard to see if he would say anything. Um, And so actually then forcing that information onto the critical path as a style of quest design would arguably make Icthlarin's Little Helper worse, or that whole concept of gathering that information at the time worse, much more inelegant, but then actually would improve it in retrospect as a later piece. I don't know, it's weird. Everything today I'm complaining about, I'm like, there's no obvious good answer to this because I can see why they did it that way, and it was good that they did it that way. But then it had unfortunate knock-on consequences. It's tricky though. It illustrates why game design is hard to get right. But then we do the same thing today. What was the one that came up with it was the one about I keep forgetting our storyline as of up to the end of the Elder God storyline, and we are going to simplify things a bit. That storyline is very complex and convoluted, and we keep there's so much information, so many key plot points that have to be ticked off to move the storyline along that we keep forgetting them, like the one about Zamorak. It was supposed to be clear in Eye of Het that Zamorak absorbed the power of the Eye of Het. He didn't just destroy it, but it isn't clear at all. And so then in Twilight of the Gods, we just like you learn, oh, he absorbed some power from the Eye of Het, by the way. But we don't then explicitly, even in Twilight of the Gods, which is explicitly supposed to clear this up, we don't explain that he regrew his wings. Oh God, my crew's back. Hi, my crew. So even with the modern content, like we don't get it right. Like it's so easy to lose track of all this little bits of information. And of course, the lore community that I'm chatting with on a daily basis think about this stuff all the time and have sort of pieced it together. And it's so hard to then go back and check, well, what information was released in game exactly. Hello, everybody. I have just finished Icthlarin's Little Helper, and I'm just about to start Contact. So that's going to be fun. Icthlarin's Little Helper, I'm down on Desert Quests as of Icthlarin's Little Helper. I was up on Desert Quests, and now I'm down on Desert Quests. Let's hope Contact is amazing. I can't remember if I've completed Contact before. I just genuinely can't remember. If I did, it would have been like 10 years ago, but I can't remember. So let's go. Are we meant to know what, if any, benefits Zamorak got from the Eye of Het besides just a boost in power levels? It's not specific. Oh god, I've got. It's not. This is why I'm so good at RuneScape. I stop every so often. Hello, everybody. I play RuneScape or I stream, and when I'm streaming, I stop for like 10 minutes to talk about game design, and then I forget to actually play the game. God, I can't remember the question now. Zamorak's power boost from the Eye of Het is non-specific. He regrew his wings, I guess, which is what I was saying in terms of like he regrew his wings, but we didn't mention that he regrew his wings. So yeah. Anyway, I didn't refill my water skins, did I? Oh yes, I did. Right. Anyway, let's do contact. Right. Blah blah blah. I'm not reading out all the dialogue. Oh wait, hang on. I'm skipping through this dialogue as if I... Yeah, this is the same dialogue I read before. Yeah, cool. I stopped to talk about whether or not Icthlarin's little helper had mentioned that there was a plague and that people weren't allowed into Menethos as a result of the plague. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's go. Sounds like a quest. Should have Het's wings. Yeah. Perfect. He could have the other Het's, the old Het. The old Het's wings. Oof. Shooting them even when they're running away, what? Was it someone was didn't someone sketch out a version of the Zamorak bow? Wasn't there one version of like the Tier 95 bow which was like just Zamorak's head as a bow, and then someone else did one that was Zamorak's wings as the parts of the bow, I think. We've got one of these scale issues again where like the scale of Sophanum doesn't quite look right. Okay. I found that reading dialogue out on a stream it doesn't work very well for me streaming, but then reading large amounts of dialogue doesn't work very well on a stream either. So dialogue is a difficult thing to deal with for streaming. Like with I've been going through the early quests which don't have very much dialogue, which has worked quite nicely, but now I'm up to 2007. This has got quite a lot more dialogue. Yeah, I've done quite a lot of streams with a lot of reading, and it's basically just me reading. Like, because I read for 5 minutes, then stop to talk about game design for 15 minutes, and then never get actually any game done at all. I've got to. Oh god, someone challenged the Law Council to do a Zamorak stream, so that's gonna go well. I don't know when, if ever, but we were all talking about it. Like, yeah, let's do that. Let's go do story mode Zamorak. I would totally read out if it was my dialogue. I would read it out. Is there any way into Menethos from below? Who's Tumican? Scabrous. Yeah, I know this lore. Wow! Okay, I do know this lore. I didn't know there was one line of dialogue that went on for 4 dialogue boxes. That's genuinely impressive. Okay. Have you considered an in-game lore interface that summarizes quests you've completed? I mean, arguably, the quest journal already does that, right? I mean, it's not brilliant for that purpose, but if I go, oh, not that one, that's a bad example, but yeah, if I go read the quest journal for a quest I've completed, it does summarize everything that happens in the quest. You could argue that it ought to be a bit more summarizey. Like, it could be shorter, but then that would have to be written. Nate has new dialogue now. Oh, do I need to go read this? I'll read it another time. Hey, my kitten's still with me. Where am I going? Talk to Jex, who's in front of the temple. There you go. Hey. Hey, buddy. Have these models changed since launch? The Sophanum... Have these been redone at all? Or on launch? I want to pick up my cat. Yeah, sure. They were updated with Manifos. No, they don't look as new as Manifos. Maybe I'm just confused. Did they get like a little bit of a retexture, whereas all the Manifos ones are... Oh, why? Oh, right, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, so they look kind of old schooly before. Vicious traps and dangers? Wait, isn't he the... Wait. Isn't he the High Priest of Scabrous? Why is he blessing me with the blessing of Icthlarin? I'm very confused. Apparently I don't know the law. I thought I knew the law. Apparently I don't know the law. Who is Jex a priest of? He's a priest of Icthlarin. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, because they were talking about the followers of Scabrous used to live underground. Right, yes. I'm getting confused. Hey, guys. Oh, do I need a light source? Damn it. RS guy's first interview. Oh, neat. When's that going out? Oh god, I haven't reviewed them. I don't actually know what's on them. Like, I mean, I know what I said, but we talked for like 6 hours or something. And yeah, like he interviewed loads of us, and I talked to him for like 6 hours. So I don't know what he's going to edit it down to. I don't have a light source. Damn it! Is there a bank in Sophanum? Is there a bank in Sophanum? No. Do I need to walk up to what's his name? Back up to Nada. Yep. I'm not sure when the bank unlocks, but that is the bank. The guards. Oh, ask the guards downstairs. Yes, yes, yes. They did have a dialogue for that, didn't they? Contact unlocks the bank. Yeah, of course it does. Do you have a torch? I'll sell you one for 200. Yeah, sure. May, care of May's Quest Caravan will pay for my torch supplies. How come you're not spotty? As far as I could work out, carrying a torch and a candle seemed to be lighter than just carrying a torch, which surprised me. It's a bit confusing. Okay. This looks fun. What am I doing down here? Oh no! Oh god! Are there any pit traps? We have been discussing small improvements that could be made to Icthlarin's little helper that would make it a little bit less painful to do with a guide. Hey, Yak-Track. What did I get? A bow and some knowledge bombs. Nice. One to go. I used one skip. Surge cannot be used. Oh god, there's a map. Task 49? Yeah, what? I'm hardcore. What? Right, hang on. Where's the map? Right, there's the map. So do I just need to go to the correct place? Do I need to explore for anything? Like I'm not really in the mood to explore this maze right now. I've been thoroughly put off Egyptian mazes by Icthlarin's little helper. Try to avoid it. Yeah. Absolutely nailed it. I only wanted to do smoky kills, and now I've ended up doing all of this. Oh, oh. I didn't bring any food. Oh, I've got a little bit left. Alright, where am I going? Around here. What are these guys, narratively speaking? Are they... Scavarus is like... followers, magically altered followers, I guess. Just run away. Oh god! Why did my torch go out? Of course it did. I should have brought more food. Perfect. Good. Just what I wanted. I did miss the scarab on the wall. Yes, I did. I mean, that one is at least, like, it's okay to die to a trap once, right? And then you learn how the trap works. And then... Like, that's not awful. Bring another torch. Why do I have a crystal amulet in my inventory? Oh, because I've got the Catspeak amulet on. Do I need that still? Maybe? Who knows? Don't need an agility potion. I do need a lot more food though. Do I need anything else? Does it recommend anything? I don't have any prayer potions yet. Anti-poison. Do I actually have any anti-poisons? Those are anti-poisons, aren't they? Who knows? Let's go. I don't know why I didn't go to Death's office. Actually, why didn't I go to Death's office? Was that just a safe death there? Go down to the level. You have to tank the monsters. Is it possible I have some sort of weird effect active that I don't know about? I think some low-level items are always kept on death and you don't visit the office. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, my gear is trash. Like, my best item is a Mystic Air Staff, so... Did I lose my cat? No. Oh, is that why you recommended I pick it up? Wait. Can this game get dog lore all overseas cat? There's a quest dog, isn't there? The quest point shop. Can I actually get in the front door now? I can't. I didn't try that before. There are plenty of dogs, aren't there? Wasn't the first legendary pet a dog as well? I think. Surprised you didn't use the carpet system. I have not been introduced to the carpet system. I do not know of the existence of the carpet system, therefore I run. Icthlarin... Yeah, I guess Icthlarin is the best quest dog. Yeah, that's fair. Well, this is the whole point of me doing this play, right? Because playing the content in dev and playing the content in live is so different. Because we play the content quickly. Sorry. Like, we play the content. We play the content itself in full, but we don't play the game around the content because our job is to play the content, right? So like, I've had games industry jobs in the past where click the wrong one. I've had games industry jobs in the past where I've been required to waste a lot of time doing things. So when I was QA at Rockstar, I had to basically find all the pigeons in GTA 4 every day. Yeah, let's walk back again. And that's just a complete waste of time, right? Like, it's a complete waste of time. The content that mattered didn't get tested, and all anyone did was just find the pigeons again and again and again and again and again, which wasn't helpful. So, like, you know, when we're testing content, we test the content itself. We don't test getting to the content. So, but then that means that I lose touch a bit with, like, actually not playing the game, but playing the game as a player would, if that makes sense. And that's why I'm making sure I do this, because it's different. It's a very different experience. But like, I don't have time to do this in my day job because, you know, I'm busy doing my actual job. I can't be like doing Icthlarin's Little Helper 7 times over in order to actually genuinely get past that agility. So like, you know, after the second time I failed it, if it was at work and I was playing through Icthlarin's Little Helper for some reason, if a QA was playtesting for a bug or something, they would skip directly to the part where the bug is and test the bug. If I was playing through it for some reason, not sure why I would be playing Icthlarin's Little Helper, but if I was, the second or so time I failed the trap, I would just skip over it. Whether, you know, you could argue that we should fix it, and I agree that we should, but you know, we don't. I think if it was a piece of current content that we were making and I had an experience like that, I would request that we fix it and change it before it went out, right? But when it's a piece of old content and the project isn't to fix it, which is why I'm not sure why I would be doing it, that's a little bit trickier. Yeah. Right, so where was it I fell last time? It was here, wasn't it? Hey, buddy. There's nothing to interact with. That's weird. How do I actually do anything? The only person on RS using the activity tracker. Yep, that's me. As long as I'm not directly next to it. Okay, so I need to avoid the scarab itself. Okay, yeah, cool. That's unintuitive, I would say, but fair enough. Okay, now I'm really paranoid. Which I guess is good. Like, it's good that I'm paying attention to my environment and looking... Oh, God. I said before immediately walking into a trap. But in fairness, I was looking specifically for the scarabs. Right, where am I going now? I don't know. It's hard to get right. I feel. I mean, there hasn't this type of content was reasonably common in early Runescape, right? Early quests. My feeling is it's not something that we should probably try to bring back. I think that's fair. Like this sort of like trapped corridor dungeon type stuff. Link said, our only QA tester is leaving this winter for maternity leave. As a developer, I hope I won't have to take over. Yeah, you might. Well, yeah, either you do the QA right, or it goes out untested. Probably. I've never been in that situation. Well, I have with like home projects, obviously, where like I have to do my own QA. You know, I hate doing QA because I'm really meticulous, which is exhausting and demoralizing. It's so nice at work to like not have to do the testing. I mean, we all do self-testing. Right? I mean, I don't anymore because I'm not really a developer anymore. But like, it's been a long time since I made something that needed testing. I do. I mean, I do. I write designs that need sanity checking, which is a similar sort of thing. But am I in the right place now? Yeah. Are there any more traps down here? Let's hope not. Oh, wounded, am I? Wounded. Clicking food like a boss. I do have it on my bar. And I've even keybound it. But I'm a noob. Caliph, your mission is to contact our agent inside Menaphos. Use the tunnels beneath the Temple of Lesser Gods. Be vigilant of traps and the hostile natives. They're about as welcoming as the Menaphites, only slightly better looking. There's a comma missing there. Oh, hey Ryan. Have you come to talk about game design? What we need is a plank. Rescue Prince Ali from Lady Kelly. Was that dialogue updated? No, because that's the same dialogue from Prince Ali Rescue, right? But it's still true. Even after the update. Is it odd? Isn't Icthlarin's little helper now a bit weird in retrospect after Diamond in the Rough? Because Diamond in the Rough now ends with a big Amascut reveal. And then Icthlarin's little helper then moves on to another big Amascut reveal. That's a bit weird, right? I wonder if Rowley was planning to rework Icthlarin's little helper afterwards, but never got a chance to. Yeah, I did want to call the update. I did want to call the update Zamorak Independence Day, but Mod Ramen didn't like that idea. And to be honest, he's probably right. where did I first run into the prince, Draenor? Who helped you find the prince? Ooh. Ozan and Leela? Oh, that's been updated. I have to go get Osman. What? Oh God, hang on. Where's my? I've got this sorted incorrectly now. Hang on. Can I just open it that way? Yeah. See that is why the activity tracker is the best feature in the game. Bring Osman. Okay, sure. Yeah. Let's hope he's got some dialogue that just skips us straight back here. Did you guys see the Osman model with the board game? I was really pleased with it. But with the board game, we've had there's been this constant tension of like, is it old school? Is it RuneScape 3? And so, I think it was my suggestion. It might not have been. I can't remember. Because obviously the RuneScape 3 Osman and the old school Osman now look very different. So I think again, I think it was my suggestion is like, what if the old school Osman has the RS3 Osman outfit under his cloak, and then it would just be both of them at the same time? Can I actually get in the front door now? I can't remember. Yeah. Hey, buddy. And so he's got this distinctive little curvy dagger thing. But yeah. So I've been encouraging them. We talk to Steamforge fairly regularly, and I've been encouraging them to have that, like, because I noticed in the feedback, you know, there were grumpy old school players who were unhappy about the fact that there was any mention of anything RS3 specific in the board game, and grumpy RuneScape 3 players who were unhappy about there being anything that seemed to be biased towards old school in the board game. And I've been encouraging them to sort of be both and neither. Like, it's not, the board game is not canonical to either old school or RuneScape 3. It includes elements of both and some unique lore of their own, like the Fire Cult. And I think that's kind of where they have to be, right? Because we don't want an old school RuneScape board game, and we don't want a RuneScape 3 board game. We want a RuneScape board game. So I think they've been doing a really good job. Yeah. Yeah, similar with some of the other characters. Which demon is it? Delrith? He has like a kind of mixture of the two looks, you know. But Zuck has a sword, and that's the important thing. I want to talk to you about Sophanum. So how did Osman? I cannot remember the, because didn't Diamond in the Rough? Wait, what's the other one called? Diamond in the Rough and something else. Oh, what's the first one called? The first of the two Ozan quests. Anyway, didn't the two of them replace just Prince Ali Rescue? Stolen Hearts, yeah. Prince Ali Rescue was replaced with two quests, is that correct? Or was there a second quest that I've forgotten that also got replaced? Yeah. So what, I can't remember what part Osman played in Prince Ali Rescue, if any. Was he even in Prince Ali Rescue? Do you like go to him at the end or something like that? Mesa wants to speak with you. You're so cunning. You're so cunning, Osman. You start at Hassan, he sends you to Osman, he sends you to Leela. Okay. Yeah, I played it back in the day, but I can't remember. Has this dialogue been rewritten, I wonder? It feels different in style to the other dialogue. It's interesting. It would drive a wedge between the Menethite cities. Yeah. I'll make you close to soften them. Of course you will. Right, wait, hang on. So what's the magic carpets? I genuinely haven't ever used the magic carpets. Is there one down near? Just outside Shanty Pass. Yeah. Oh, is the rug merchant outside Shanty Pass? Yeah. This game is so massive. I got to know Shanty Pass quite well during Evil Dave. Spent about 40 hours in Shanty Pass developing Evil Dave. Yes. Are these working or are these broken? Oh, almost. Imagine how cool that would be with a 2D cutscene. Oh, no, that would, because that one definitely wouldn't work for 2D cutscene because it would be because the player needs to be in it, right? So you couldn't depict the player. I hate pictures. Pictures are the worst. Where am I going? Come on, buddy. Evil Dave's the best. You got such bad taste in quests. Oh, hey, Osman. Wait, do I need to talk to him? Probably do, don't I? He did say he'd meet me near Softenham. Just draw an indistinct silhouette. Yeah, well, I mean, you could, right? You like it's not insurmountable as a problem, but I think that would be a fair place to complain. Like, this is literally a cutscene of my character, and you didn't draw my character. But I mean, we can see like technically these old 3D cutscenes do break, and it's really challenging. Why don't you try a disguise? Okay, let's take the secret entrance. Wait for me here. Okay, sure. When are we getting the ability to not have to get God Wars 2 kill count after getting max rep? That sounds like more of a question for Ryan. Osman's been gone for hours. Oh god, right, hang on. Well, do I need to go back up? Right, she teleported me to the thing though, so is it that thing there? It is, isn't it? God. Amusing dialogue if I go back to Alcarid and speak to Osmond. I'm not sure if I trust you. Why? Does he just like... No, I don't want to go back and do that. I'll look it up on the wiki later. I just want to get this quest finished. Wait, my torches are lit. Why is that saying proceed regardless? No, extinguish your lights also. Okay, sure. Do I have to do the whole bloody thing again? Because I'm not going to do this if I don't have to. Go back through the dungeon to where you found it. Right. This is very much in the design ethos of Icthlarin's Little Helper, where having just done a fun maze full of traps, we have to do it again. I kind of assumed I wouldn't have to do it again. Maybe it's the old school Osman that's replaced the... No, I don't think I did. I must have stopped here. I don't remember doing this quest before. I definitely did it Florence to the Harbour. I do not feel, in retrospect, that requiring this and the previous quest to enter Menaphos would have been good decisions. Although, I mean, I guess we could have done, like, small reworks to them, but... Menaphos still wasn't the carrot, right? That was the problem. Maybe if Menaphos had been... No, I mean, Menaphos had some key stuff in it, right? People didn't like the rep grind. High-level players didn't like the rep grind in Menaphos, as I recall. But it was worth unlocking, wasn't it? It was like... I mean, I'm sure what Rowley would like to do is rework these quests as well. That would be his ideal, I think. Not sure how practical that actually is. The Menaphos quest's barely got enough time as it is. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that. It was a strange time. The expansion development period is a very strange time. What was I doing during that period? I can't remember. I can't even remember what I was working on. I mostly spent that period, basically the period between Broken Home and Mighty Fall, I spent largely working on like cancelled projects. I was on so many cancelled projects where I would spend like a year working on something. Like Prestige and Pledge is one that people actually know about. That like Ryan was on that with me as well, funnily enough. And you know, we did spend time on it, and then it eventually didn't happen. And I had a lot of projects like that for like 5-6 years. So I just kind of nothing went into the game that I had anything to do with for quite a long time. And then I think Mining and Smithing was like... What was I doing when the first Mining and Smithing rework was happening? I can't remember. That was around the same time, wasn't it? I'm definitely going to win now. Ah, oh no! No. First Mining and Smithing rework. Cheeks period. Oh, I was involved with Barbarian Assault rework. Yes. The first Mining and Smithing rework was the one that Raven and Wilson were working on. Oh, and there was... I had a little bit of involvement. It's hard. I never wrote anything down, and I can never remember the past. What types of damage is he doing? Melee, I assume? Not actually hurting, you know. Yeah, combat. Oh, sorry, I stopped mid-sentence there. I've gone to the dark side and chosen magic. No, I'm trying to get my magic up because it's a requirement for Family Crest. I have... My magic's 58 and my melee's 54. It's my favourite combat style right now. They're not super different, honestly. Like, I prefer my look when I'm doing melee, because I have some nice shiny Orichalcum armor. Dragon's Breath is fun, but irritating when I didn't want to really aggro the entire room of Ankus. So Mage has that going for it. Like, just every so often you aggro a room full of Ankus. But since I'm Remo++ing all of them, they don't really feel any different. Go to Rippers for science. I don't. My dedication to science is not that. It's not that high. I made everyone laugh yesterday by accidentally one-shotting a dungeoneering boss and then saying, "Yeah, but Astia Frostweb wasn't that easy," and it's obviously because she was praying against my style and I'd forgotten. This certainly is a fight. Zamorak boss, gonna be cooler than this. Do I want to do summer before or after the rework of the Wildie? Ideally before, but in practice, probably won't get around to it. Oh, reveal stream and we got several months looking an extra strong name was good. Oh, that's good. Yeah, we want to do longer streams. Like, we're trying to find the right balance of how much content to reveal in advance. You know, like I think we'd like to get to the point where we're talking slightly further ahead than we are. Because actually, even though that stream had a huge amount of information in it, it's actually only 2 updates, which is crazy. Like, it's actually like 2 updates ahead. But then even on that stream, like, it turned out I got some of the details about the, where do I need to go now? Back to the guy? Turn and talk to the High Priest. Wait, I should just half out, shouldn't I? Half, what am I saying? Idiot. It does say H on it. Yeah, so I got some of the information about the Wilderness rework wrong, because the design had changed in between the last time I'd seen it and the stream, right? So, like, because unfortunately Moderator couldn't be there for the stream, so my information was out of date, which kind of illustrates, and that's kind of why it's difficult to talk about things significantly further in advance, because even though we're talking 2 updates in advance, designs change quite rapidly, you know, as we're developing them, and that makes things tricky, because obviously, like, the details of an update really matter. You know, like we can say like, oh, we're going to be reworking the Wilderness at some point, so I guess you should look forward to that coming out. People want to know, well, what do you mean by reworking the Wilderness? What's the state of PvP? What's, you know, how are the mechanics going to work? What builds up threat? How a Bloodwood tree is going to work? And but the problem is, until we've assigned a developer to it to design, we don't necessarily know the answers to all those questions, because it hasn't been designed in full yet. So we then can't answer the question. So it's really difficult to get that right balance of like announcing the update. The info I gave out that was wrong was that threat will only build when you're on the Slayer task. But I need to. I haven't had time this week. I'll try and do it this weekend. I can't this weekend because I want to check with the developers. But I need to write up a post explaining basically what the mechanics are. It turns out Moderator had actually written a full design for it. And I asked the others, and they're happy for me to put it on They're happy for me to post it up on Reddit, but I want to check it with the developers first just to make sure they're happy with what I'm saying. Hey guy. I can't remember her mod name actually. It was, but the will it go on the homepage? I do. I mean, I do, that's much more like actually um, having an official blog post go out is significantly more complicated because it involves like 8 people. Like official blog posts are actually quite bureaucratic to organize, which is why. So like, whereas if I just make a Reddit thread, I just need to check with the developer that I'm happy, and I need to check with CM that they're happy that I'm posting it up. You know, which is why like I know some people would prefer us to post things in other places, but when it's just like, look, I made a mistake on a live stream, I want to correct the mistake I made on the live stream. It's so much easier to do it via social media, which is why devs tend to do that kind of thing. 2 wishes. Prepping you for the Wisens on the homepage question. Yeah, I'm just used to it. Like, it's, I mean, people are right? Like, ideally, communication would be flawless and everywhere and communicated cyclically to all players, and sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. And there's, yeah, largely we do whatever we can in the time we have. Like, you know, basically, I'm going to be writing up this post. Like, I don't need to provide this information, right? We gave some information. We will talk more about the update closer to launch. I don't need to do it now. But I thought people might like to know, so I'm going to make an effort to try to communicate a bit more about it, you know, so that we've got time for people to hear the plan, you know, and we can tweak the numbers if we need to. But the problem is that, like, just doing that, you know, the more people get involved with something like that, the more time it's consuming, the more people start asking questions about, like, well, do we actually have time to do that? Sometimes you just get it done yourself, you know. That's just the way it is, really. With any job, really. What am I going to put my combat lamps into? Probably magic right now. Wait, they're fixed lamps, aren't they? So probably ranged. Hang on. No, I should put them into magic because I actually just need the quest. Oh, there we go. No problem. I'll put the next one in ranged. Boom. Not bad. Yeah, it's tricky really. Like a lot of our job is like, I don't want to put it as like doing the best we can, because that sounds like we're like constantly like stretched out, which isn't what I mean. It's just like, you know, in a job you have aspects of your job which are your job that you're supposed to do, and then sometimes you try and go a little bit further and just do something extra on top, and sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you cause more harm than good, and that definitely is possible, and it's a bit awkward. But it is what it is. Not selected a faction. Oh man. Right, what time is it? It is 1 in the morning. Right, I should definitely stop. I didn't realise how late it was. Right. It is time for bed. Good night everybody, thank you for watching. I need to stop right now.